When we discussed the solid phase of soil and organization of particles and pores, we mentioned two quantities, soil texture and soil structure. I'd like to elaborate a little bit more about the soil structure component. We understand soil structure as the aggregation of primary particles that form aggregates or structures in them, or bioturbation by earthworms or other agents in the soil that form biopores in the soil. And these are pore spaces that are not predictable from the soil texture alone. So soil structure often represents the cumulative effects of biological activity. It takes a long time to form and may be destroyed in a second or two, and therefore it is a very important soil property for soil ecological functioning, but also it's a very sensitive property and very dynamic. The biological component of soil structure is very important. We identify soil structure forming near in the rhizosphere near root surfaces, in which the elevated biological activity and exudates aggregate soil particles together, forming these aggregates as you see in the image here. But also there are other modes of soil structure formation, such as burrowing by earthworms, general biological activity and hotspots in the soil that will form ultimately aggregates. All of these contribute to the soil ecology in a big way. As I said, soil structure is a highly dynamic property. In absence of biological activity, you'll see on the left panel kind of homogeneous soil with no distinct aggregation or so on. Whereas when you have plants in the middle panel, you'll see slowly formation of aggregates, and the carbon input into the soil would feed the earthworms and other fauna in the soil. And that structure may be destroyed in a second, as I mentioned, with the passage of a tractor over that surface. So the take-home message is that soil structure is an important and dynamic soil property. It is characteristic of biological activity. Soil structure enhances fluxes of gases and liquids into the soil and promote its ecological functioning. It is difficult quantity to define rigorously, but it is yet quite important. And the soil structure may take years to decades to form, but seconds to destroy.